for a while, remember Carlos Condit was like climbing on trees and shit, and fucking Conor was doing all this weird stuff, and then all of a sudden, just the meathead movement is back.
The meathead movement? How so? Like in what way?
That training.
Kersan's not a meathead. I wouldn't say
I'm not saying
that's a meathead movement at all. I think that's the opposite.
No. What I'm saying is that raw power, that strength condition, you can't make up for that by climbing on trees and doing this weird yoga movement, all that shit.
There's room for that. That's all good. But
it can't be your focus.
Yeah.
It can't be your fucking focus.
But Conor, what Conor's been able to do is develop like extremely agile back and forth movement. And I think a lot of that is that Ido Portal guy. I got to admit that as weird as his stuff looks when he's flipping around, doing all these jumps, if you can move your body like that, that's going to directly translate into your footwork and your movement.
I give more credit to his head coach.
100%. I mean, John Kavanagh
as far
is
as his
wizard.
Movement. Oh, speaking of UFC 207, you know who the biggest winner is?
Who?
Conor McGregor.
How so?
He's the only star.
Oh yeah,
he's the only mega star, and goes.
He gets all the stock.
You fellas want to? You want to talk now, or what do you want to do? Because I'm the only guy left.
Well, how about this? It's that, and then the next pay-per-view is Holly Holm versus Jermaine de Rondame, which is it's a tough sell, right?
Tough sell.
And it's a very good fight. I would buy it as a hardcore fan.
I'll buy it for sure.
For sure, and we'll probably. But the
you
bottom
and me
line
and
is
100,000 people will.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be Conor McGregor numbers, right? Bottom line.
Conor, when she lost, and I'm sure he likes Ronda, but I bet business-wise, he's like, excellent, excellent.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation now with the marketing campaign that WME put together for this that was so Ronda heavy, and then Ronda gets smashed, and now. What are you going to do for? You going to like the girl who smashed Ronda? Is that what Amanda gets for her next title fight?
You do a press tour, world press tour with her. Like let's introduce you to the girl who beat the shit out of Ronda. Now she's not fighting. Let's do this press tour that she deserves.
So they try
let's do all this stuff.
Piggyback on Ronda again.
Yes,
and show the beating.
Well, you know she sort of retired two legends in the sport.
That's why she's my fighter of the year.
She retired Misha, and then she retired Ronda. If Ronda retires, that's huge. She retired both of them. All of a sudden, Amanda is Nate Diaz.
Well, you know what, man?
Who's going to headline cards right now?
Dude,
who would sell a pay-per-view?
It's a good fucking question. There's a
lot of stars out there.
No heavyweights other than Stipe Miocic that can sell a big card right now.
And he has to sell it in Cleveland, too.
Yeah. There's a lot of stars out there. There's a lot of stars out there.
That would sell a pay-per-view, Eddie.
Well,
which
name
ones?
one.
Serious.
And just give me three and go.
Well, Amanda
Centauri.
Nunes really didn't. I mean, she put in 45 seconds.
Robbie Lawler's
They should
ready.
take advantage. There's, I mean, you want.
I'm talking about legit pay-per-view sellers.
Honestly, there's Conor McGregor and there's everybody else, right?
Correct.
There was a thing that they showed the other day that Conor, in 3 fights, drew more pay-per-view than the entire UFC roster in 2014.
His 3 worst gates and pay-per-views of all time would beat Ronda's best and Brock Lesnar's best.
Yeah, he's the best. He's the biggest for sure. And
Are you guys arguing?
No, you're not. No. But some people
I'm
are.
just looking at you like this.
Dana's argued it, right?
Yeah, he goes, Ronda's the biggest star, and Conor's like, no.
What Ronda's is like, here's what's different. When Ronda's face came on the screen the first time in Vegas this weekend, I heard young girls scream. That's all I heard. I heard young girls. So I think we kind of nailed it when we were talking about it earlier. Like, what guys sell pay-per-views? I think Woodley is a bigger star now that he beat Wonder Boy, but he still wants
Not
that
a
big
pay-per-view, Joe.
And like Dana and I were having this conversation. He's like, you can't have Nick Diaz. He goes, Nick Diaz hasn't won a fight since 2011. You can't have him step in and just go right up to the title and
sells,
fight.
though.
That's what I said. I said, but I want to see it. And he goes, I want to see it too, but you can't just do that.
Sell it. Well, no one's going to take the sport serious if you give a guy who hasn't won since 2011 or 12, give him a title shot. Fans are like, come on, bro.
You say that, but I think they missed the boat if they wanted to make the fucking big money. It's Nick Diaz versus Conor McGregor.
No, he's too big, brother. He's too.
Whatever.
Come on.
They fight at 170.
Oh, come on. No, his
Conor
brother was
fought
too
at
big for him.
170.
His brother was too big for him.
Do you think he's too big?
Way too big.
I think that talk is nonsense because Conor's the 155-pound champ. Nate fought at 155 most of his career. He fought at 170 a couple of times, and he's undersized. Dong Young Kim beat him at 170.
He's a legit 170er, though.
Rory
Especially
McDonald
now. He's
beat him at
older
170.
now, too.
Maybe, but he fights 155 easy. He looked great against Michael McDonald at at 55. Tyron Woodley can't make
Michael
55
Johnson.
if his fucking life depends on it. Tyron Woodley's not making 55.
I know, and he's entertaining that
the
fight.
champ can't make 155 at 170. Nate can. So Nate is not a real 170.
Now here's to your point, and Dana's point. He hasn't won a fight since 2011, and you have Conor, your cash cow, fight this monster who hasn't won forever.
It's a great story.
It really is.
I love a great
I would
story.
watch it.
Big Brother steps in. Come on,
I would
son.
watch it. I'd watch it, man. But to your point, they have to figure something out to get these stars.
It doesn't matter.
Because you can't do it overnight.
To me, it doesn't matter. You put Nick Diaz for what he's done out of respect. Who's going to complain? Really?
Well,
And
apparently
if
they offered
do-
Nick Diaz Robbie Lawler, and Nick passed on it. That's the word. That's the word behind the scenes.
Interesting.
Maybe I'm not supposed to say that, but I wanted to see that fight. I would love to
too.
see that rematch. But I think Nick wants a fucking title fight. You know, I think Nick is like, look, I want a big name or a title fight.
I love how they make these demands now.
He's got money. Nick made some money. He's not ridiculous. He doesn't spend it all.
Well, how about Nate? I'm not answering the call unless it's $20 million.
Yeah, we talked about
Get
that.
him, son.
We talked about that recently in the podcast. I was like, well, let's break this down. Because, like, let's say they do 1 million pay-per-view buys, which is, like, top end, right? There's only a few people that have ever sold 1 million. It's like Brock, Ronda, Conor. That's it, okay?
it.
1 million is top of the food chain. So 1 million pay-per-view buys at $60, that's... You're taking 1/3 right off the bat for Nate. It's really hard to justify giving someone $20 million for a
UFC's
fight.
not going to do that.
It's going to be real hard. And then obviously...
Conor could demand that.
Conor's like one of the only guys that can get that kind of money.
He's the only guy.
When are
Yeah.
guys? You think eventually guys will just start doing like they get so big like Conor? He just does his own show and he gets his own people to
No, the
produce
UFC
it.
lawyers are too good to let you get out of your contract.
But if Nate had a legit fight with someone other than Conor that was exciting, the problem is there's no one else in the division that's got that kind of marquee value.
At 55?
Like, yeah, there's no one in the division that has the kind of marquee value that if you had a look, I think Nate is a fucking huge star. But especially now, I mean, after he beat Conor, he's one of the biggest stars outside of
Top
that
10.
upper echelon pay-per-view like level.
I give him top
and
10.
But he's not a world title holder right now.
No.
So if you wanted to really have a big fight for Nate, you would
him
have
fight
to
Aldo.
have him. That would work.
Have him fight Aldo.
That would work. That would work. That would work.
Now,
And
where's
the winner of that
GSP?
fight's
Is
Conor.
GSP ever coming back? Or
GSP, apparently they couldn't work out the deal with the Reebok deal. Like, he's got a deal with Under Armour. He's got a big deal with Under Armour. He makes a lot of money through Under Armour. And-
Monthly shit.
Yeah, and so he couldn't work out a deal with that was worth it to him. You know, there was an offer on the table. He didn't like it. They're still talking. He still says he wants a fight, but
we lost Ronda, and the only other thing we got is fucking Conor. And he's having a baby. He don't want to fucking come back.
No, you know what? You
So
got
what do you
he's,
want to
he's
do?
talking about he might come back right
And
after
what
the
they
first
want,
of the year.
but they don't want to give him who he's supposed to fight.
Who's he supposed to fight?
He's supposed to fight that fucking Khabib. End
Habib.
of story. End of story.
Khabib.
No more
But they would
fucking
give
around.
him that.
No
They
more
would give him
fucking
that.
around. Well, then let's do it. Let's set it up.
No,
more
that's not a
fucking
money
around.
fight.
Yeah, I'm with Joey. Let's
Let's
fucking do
let's
it.
cut that the shit.
The
He don't need to
fuck?
fight Aldo. He don't need to fight nobody. He's number one, right? Or is your boy number one?
Tony?
Khabib's
Yeah.
number one.
Okay, then that's the fight. Enough.
But hey, wait a minute.
That's
Tony
the
was
fight.
number one, and then Khabib became number one. Why did Khabib leapfrog Tony?
I don't know.
Who knows the rankings?
Because he
Tho-
fucking
those
took
two should
Michael
really
or whatever.
But he's
fight.
only fought a couple times in
I don't
like
know if
the
he's
past
what is he?
X
Is he
amount of
number one,
years.
brother?
Khabib's number one.
Well, that's the thing he did. Listen, he's fighting now. He's available today. He's available today. He's
Right.
available for Brooklyn.
Okay.
He said it when he fought against Michael Johnson. He's available for fucking
Number one.
Brooklyn. Okay, he's available for
Interesting.
Brooklyn.
Interesting.
Let's get Eddie against Rafael. That's a good fight. Let's get Edson back in there. People like watching him.
They're very.
Let's get
Eddie and
Bonio
Rafael just
Dariush in there. We got some fucking people here, okay?
Yeah, a lot of good guys
We
here.
got a
Look
lot
at
of
they're
fucking
everywhere.
good guys
Where the
there.
fuck are they? Why
this
aren't they
guy
fighting?
Here, this kid here, he sells pay-per-views.
Donald Cerrone.
Cerrone?
Not 300,000, but he's always
Right,
good.
but he's
Damian
fighting at
Maia is good.
170.
Robbie Lawler, that guy there is good. Fucking, they got it.
Joey
They got
needs to
it.
be the matchmaker.
They fucking got it, okay?
Well, no, he.
Yeah, man, it's an interesting situation,
They got
isn't it?
plenty of good fucking fighters.
got a whole
They just
shitload
don't
of
want to
them.
give us the fights we
Right?
want to see.
No, they
What
That's
are you
the
talking
fucking
about?
problem.
What
don't.
fight don't they want to
I
give you?
want to see
Conor.
Khabib. That's the fight.
Habib.
That's it. End of story. There's no Aldo.
Okay.
There's no Tony Ferguson. There's no babies. There's no nothing.
But he has a baby.
Brooklyn.
But he's got a baby.
But it's also
But
not a
she's
big
what-
draw for him. It's not a big draw for
Who
him,
gives
Joey.
a fuck?
It's not.
You got
It's
3
not a draw
babies. I
for
throw
him.
$20 million on you. The babies wait 6 weeks.
But Conor's already got $20 million. That's the
Okay,
difference.
well,
He wants to take time.
He cannot.
The birth of his
That's
life
fine.
is more important than what the UFC
Okay,
wants.
I agree
He's running
with
the
you.
show.
I agree with you. But
He's
right
running the
now,
show.
then May 5th, Labor Memorial Day weekend. It's Habib and him.
Habib.
Ferguson,
Habib,
give
say it.
Ferguson
Say
Habib.
Habib Nurmagomedov.
Give Ferguson Cerrone. Let's have some fun. Give Ferguson Cerrone. Let's have some fucking fun.
That's a fight.
Since we're all
No.
leapfrogging.
That's a 55.
No, Cerrone
though.
is not fighting 55 again.
I didn't say that, but we're all mixing. We're all mixing weights right now. Did we not say that before?
No.
They want to put Aldo against Khabib.
But no, Aldo's thinking about moving up anyway.
Moving up anyway, so who gives a fuck?
It seems like he's kind of chasing like a chess move.
Yes,
he's like
he's
chasing
chasing.
Conor up
He's
to
chasing.
55.
He wants that Conor fight.
He wants
Yeah.
that fight. That's what everybody wants to see again, whatever the fucking order is. But the order that they're trying to put together is the order that I don't want to see.